Tonight on Year to Date, ATV News goes south.
Daniel Pineda tells us about his trip to Alabama.
And student trustee Mark Tomick sits down for a chat.
Hey folks, I'm back and ready to go. Year to Date starts now.
Hello and welcome to Year to Date. We have a great show tonight, so let's get started. You may have seen him on the quad interviewing random people, and you may have seen him on ATV. He is Daniel Pineda, ATV News anchor. A senior in the School of Communication and Public Affairs, he recently came back from a trip down to Alabama, where the AU men's basketball team played their hearts out against the Volunteers of Tennessee. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I enjoy your show.
Oh, thank you so much. So what's it like to be the anchor of ATV News?
You know what? For me, personally, being a reporter is better. Talking to everyday people, I think, is the most important thing and great thing that I get to do. Anchor, it's okay, but I personally like being a reporter better and reporting on the stories. And we've broken a lot of stories, the Blue Light story.
Yes.
We beat the Eagle. And so I like talking to everyday people. That's, for me, the most important thing.
One of the things I've been struck with as I've been watching ATV News this year is the quality of the increased quality in the news packages. You know, what really goes into making one of those? Well,
it takes a lot of time, and usually if you're going to a local news market, they do one every day.
Sure.
But usually you capture your video, you usually have a stand-up, and the editing process is typically long. The packages usually run 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes long.
And there's a lot of field reporting that goes into that, so you get to meet lots of everyday people, I would say.
Right.
Any interesting experiences this year? A
lot of interesting stories that I had a chance to cover. For example, we talked to a family who had 2 children with autism, and I thought that was a good human interest story. And just talking to everyday people. I've also had a chance to interview Ron Paul, David Gregory, Helen Thomas. So I had I had a chance to interview all kinds of people, and then, as you said, we went to a trip to Birmingham, Alabama, and that was very exciting. 24 hours long in a bus, but it was great, and it really is exciting.
Really? Oh. So are you planning to pursue a career in journalism?
Right. Hopefully. I subscribe to tvjobs.com, and so I'm hoping I can get a position in the local news market.
I've heard you can be sent to random places like Nebraska or Iowa or
maybe Alabama.
Or maybe Alabama. You have experience in Alabama now.
I know some people there now.
You do. Is there any particular spot you're looking to get a job in?
I would prefer the West Coast because I am from California. Hopefully, maybe Seattle. I heard Texas was also a very good market to start, or possibly Florida.
Okay. And you just mentioned, we were just talking about Alabama briefly. Tell us a little bit about it. You said 24 hours on a bus.
It was actually funny when we were going there, and I told you this before, they were showing us movies like Remember the Titans, sort of getting us motivated for the game. And in the end result was a success for me.
Yeah.
The AU community was really strong. I know we always talk about how AU doesn't have spirit, but I think going to this trip and experiencing it firsthand, there is spirit in American University, and it was demonstrated. And we have a lot of successes. For example, Josh Glenn, yesterday 5th place in the 197.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
And then Mike Hannon, 6th place. So we have a lot to be proud of this year.
Certainly. So you got press passes, so you got to be with the rest of the press, like ESPN, CBS, everybody. Do you anything in particular that was interesting?
Yeah, actually it was Jeremy Diamond, our news director, who has been doing a superb job. Ethan Clapper, one of our editors, and myself, we had press credentials. It was very fun. They have free food there, so it was very good. And we had a chance to go into the locker room and interview the players and the coach. So that was an interesting experience. And they really fought very well, and they should be very proud. So the experience was a blast.
Wow, it sounds great. I would have been there, but I had an exam.
You should have been there.
I wanted to be there.
You should have been year to date on location live with you guys.
Well, Dr. Polk had something else to say about that.
How do you do on your midterm, by the way?
I don't know. I'm hopefully going to find out this week. I don't think I did well.
You're
though.
sweating, so
I'm sweating.
I won't ask you
yeah.
any more questions.
Okay. So what was the most humorous story you've experienced, in your time at ATV?
Well, actually, you were mentioning this earlier when we had the fire alarm in the middle for broadcast. I was actually anchoring. I was teasing into a commercial break, and all this, and it was funny because we were going to cover that with video.
Sure.
So Ethan, our editor, decided to have an OTS of Jeremy Diamond's face because he was.
So that's like a little circle above where you are, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
And I know you're going to show it, right?
Yeah. Hopefully we're going to show that.
And all of a sudden, the fire alarm sounded, and Jeremy Diamond's face. It was the most hilarious face, and I hope you show it because it was very funny.
Well, we hope to show that because it is very funny. And on the other side, what was your scariest experience?
Scariest experience, probably the first show when I was anchoring, because I didn't know what to expect. Jeremy Tucker was the anchor last year, and he did such a great job. So everyone was sort of timid in how this year would turn out.
Right.
But Jeremy Diamond has been doing a great job, all the reporters, in trying to get good content. So it's been a success.
Well, any last thoughts, Daniel?
I really enjoy your show, and continued
you.
success, and I know you'll be back next year, right?
Oh, definitely, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
As you go out to the world, maybe Nebraska, maybe Iowa, hopefully the West, as you said.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And,
thank you for having me.
Everybody at Year to Date wants to congratulate the men's basketball team on doing a phenomenal job. We were really pulling for you, and we thought you did a fantastic job. Don't you dare change the channel. When we come back, Jason sits down with student trustee Mark Tomick. We'll be right back after this.